All right, everyone, episode 57 of the 580 show. We're back. Exciting stuff today. How you boys doing?
Great, man.
Feeling good, feeling good.
It's been
Coming
a
off a
while
week
since
off.
the boys are, we haven't been on a pod in a while together. So the OG Big Four, we got us all. So I guess just go right into it. The first thing, Battle at the Bridge this week, I was able to announce finally that we are one of the 4 regional shows for Strongman Corporation for 2022. So what does that mean? I know if you're in this area or you are affiliated with Strongman Corporate all as a competitor, you've probably shot me a DM since I've announced it because I've had about 500 DMs. I spoke to Dion today just to clarify and make sure I was, articulating everything correctly as far as that. So I want to make sure I get this across. Is if I say something that you guys think as a competitor that may not make sense, make sure you guys stop me. Okay. So I'm going to go through and explain this and then, just stop me where you would have questions as a competitor. So 2022 regionals, we are one of 4 shows. I don't know if they've been officially announced the other 3 yet, so I'm not going to go ahead and drop that yet. I'll let Strongman Corporation do that. The most exciting thing, I think, is Arnold bids. So if you win your class, and this is only for open classes, I'm sorry, masters and novice and teens, it doesn't apply to you. There's no Arnolds for masters competitors, but open competitors, if you win your class and it's a class that there is at nationals or Arnold's, you will get a bid to Arnold's. So that is very exciting. The one way I have been explaining this to a lot of people who have DM'd me is I'm just explaining it. Basically, it is a platinum plus as it used to exist before Strongman Corp has made some changes. So there used to be shows in the US and they were called platinum pluses. And if there were 10 or more in your class, then you qualify for Arnold's. And, there was probably 5 to 7 throughout the US. The platinum pluses, as far as I know, aren't really going on anymore with the new format. And first place gets you Arnold and Nationals. If you still want to go to Nationals, you are more than welcome to do that. Second place and third place gets you Nationals. And then if you've got 10 competitors, fourth place will get you Nationals as well. So that's pretty much the gist of the placing. If there's 12 or more, we can give out a Nationals invite to fifth place as well. So basically their goal for regionals is just to be as competitive as a show as possible. There's not supposed to be any novice competitors at a regional show, but since we started ours before we knew we were going to be regionals, Dion is allowing us to have our novice classes remain. We've since added 25 spots that we are only taking open individuals now. So if you're hearing this, hopefully there's still spots left open. I think last time I looked, we were under 20 again. So and I guess I should add for 2022, it's kind of, I know we've talked about it before on this pod, it's kind of a gap year for them. All of us obviously thought that there was some new ownership taking over in Strongman Corporation, which fell through. And before that even fell through, they did announce that 2022, no matter what, was just going to kind of be a play ball year. The only thing that really changes is platinum pluses are now called regionals, and they have a defined, placing and qualification system for those. So, what did I miss so far with that stuff?
Real quick, does the Arnold bid depend on the number of competitors per weight class?
Nope. As long as I believe it's I think every class we have has already met that qualification standard. So for Platinum Pluses, it used to be 10, and now it is not for regionals because you're going to have 120 competitors and it's only going to be open classes. So we're a little bit of a weird example because we'll probably have a little bit less than a normal regionals. But the idea is to have it as competitive as possible for this year.
Does that go for subclass too?
Any class that they have at Nationals and Arnold's.
Okay.
Any class. So I know they've announced they're adding a 200 class. I sent an email to verify that my 200 guys will be able to get an Arnold's bid, but I have not yet to confirm that. But as long as the document that I received, as long as it's a class that is at nationals and Arnold's, then you are able to give that bid out.
Cool.
So that's really cool. I'm really, really excited. I believe next year. So a lot of people have, I talked to Dion today, and I will say, I believe she will most likely be a guest on our podcast for next week. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it seems like she's going to be around for next week. So that'll be really exciting to actually hear everything from her. But for next year, for regionals, there's a lot of uproar because I believe, like, it was originally indicated there was going to be like local, sectional, state, regional, then nationals, right? So this is something really cool. And I think a lot of people have complained because, oh, I don't want to do all these shows. I don't want to. If you win a local show, still, like if you go, Dante, in 2023 and you go do PA Dutch, right? And it's just a local show and you win your class and it's not just you in your class, like it meets all this standard, there's like 5 people in your class, so they're allowed to give out a nationals bid. You'll still just be able to surpass regionals and go straight to nationals. One main reason that Dion told me for the regionals thing, and it does kind of make sense, is she said she gets a lot of people and who sign up for a show. So say Riley signs up for a show and it's a local show. He lives in, I don't know, Idaho, and they don't have a huge, participation rate there. So there's 37 guys at this show, and Riley's the only one that signed up for middleweight open. So Riley won his class technically, or he had to be combined. And Riley's whole purpose for going to that local show was to qualify for nationals. So that sucks for Riley because now he can't qualify for nationals because not to no fault of his own. But what he will receive from going there and at least being the only one there, he'll still receive a regionals bid and he'll have a chance to now go prove himself and get that nationals bid that he wanted.
Sure.
So that was one point that she made, and I like the reasoning and that you're able to surpass regionals with a win at a local show as long as there's a certain amount of people in your class. So I think a lot of people will like that, and I think a lot of people have jumped the gun on that, rightfully so, because it's been craziness this last couple months. So rightfully so, but I did hear that straight from Dion today that is the case. So I thought that was really cool. So man, that's exciting stuff for Battle at the Bridge, obviously for us, where you guys are all from around here. So Beaver County, PA is one of the 4 locations in the United States, a place that I had my graduation party at. And Riley has spent many nights drinking. I have as well. And we
21st birthday.
Yeah. Riley's 21st birthday was a banger there. So it actually means a lot to me. And it's so cool that we are one of the 4 locations in the United States hosting a regionals event in 2022. And I think it's just the start of something special for this show. I think we all knew it was going to be a big show. But I think this is adding a little bit of validity to me just speaking about it. And I think for 2023, 2024, so on, it's going to be bigger and bigger. So I can't wait, for this year and years to come. So what else do you guys have as far as a competitor's view or being affiliated with the show? What else would you guys have that I may not have made?
So you said she wanted these regional shows to be super competitive, maybe even specifically talking about this year. Was that just class size, increasing class size, or was that also, would you ever think about, like, for the weight matrix, increasing the weights?
Good question. So actually I was reading it as you were speaking, but that's a really good question. One of the rules is if there is an event that you have that precedent has already been set at nationals. So say like we have a yoke, right? Our weight matrix has to be within 15% of that weight at nationals. So it cannot be lower than 15% of the weight that we used at nationals for that event. So if we would have a wheelbarrow, that because the wheelbarrow was used this year, it would have to be the maximum it could be away from nationals would be 15%. So yeah, it's competitive in the sense there's no novice classes except ours. and which allows for more people in the open class, obviously. And yeah, the weight used, there's actually a matrix set for you on it. So that's a really good question.
So I have another question kind of off of that. In the future, excuse me, in the future, there's going to be no novice, right? What about masters and teens? Is that going to be affected too?
For what?
So like right now in 2022, masters, teens, and novice are all going to be at Battle at the Bridge.
Mhm.
Let's say in 2023.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that like we're not going to have novice next year? But
I don't think so.
They won't be, masters and teens won't be there either.
Yeah, if it's so, unless they parlay it with like masters, nationals, and giving out more bids, or they do like teen nationals. But right now, to my understanding, it would just be like open, like nationals qualifier. It's basically the regionals are just set up to get people to go to nationals. So yeah, and this year, like I said, it's a little funky. It's a gap year. I think Strongman Corporation is using it to learn and to test out this new system. I like it now a lot because I like that there's not going to be a million brackets. I don't have to do 6 shows to get there. And I also like, I can still just go and do a show in West Virginia and hopefully win. And then it's like, hey, I'm at nationals. So it's the same thing I was doing before. I really like it. It just gives people that maybe, hey, Dante goes to a show and it's super competitive. There's 16 middleweights signed up. Dante had a great day, missed out on that nationals qualifier by half a point, at his local show. He came in second place out of 16, but he can still go to the regionals now and get to nationals. So it allows for that. I like that now.
Yeah,
the guy that won can still go to nationals.
I love the regional. I love that there's like the in between. I like that there's the local, and then obviously if you win the local, you still go to nationals. But I like that there's like a middle ground that's like, okay, these people are above like the entry level that are just good enough to get into open, that are filling in the class. But now when you get to a regional, everybody there is going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's not quite to national level, but like it gets that in between that I think it's kind of needed.
Yeah. I think too, it like Platinum Pluses have always been cool for people.
Right.
I've never gotten to go to one. But I know they're always talked about. People love them because if you win, you get your Arnold bid, which is, I think this adds a little more structure and definition to like a Platinum Plus. And, it limits how many there can be. So there's not, 16 promoters in the past wanted to run a Platinum Plus, if Strongman Corporate allowed it, technically that could happen, right? So this just allows a little more structure and definition to it. So if it's done right, I think it can be pretty cool. Now that I've heard more about it, I'm very optimistic about it, and I'm really happy, and I am very, very thankful that we were trusted. And it's a lot of pressure now. I can't screw it up because I wanted this show to keep, but we're going to put on. I've been telling people, it's funny because since day one on this pod, what have I been saying, boys? Like, sign up. You're going to regret it. And how many people messaged me today, freaking swallowing their pride? Hey man, I signed up for this other show instead of yours, but man, do you think you can get a spot now? I'm like, if you get a spot, if you sign up, sign up.
No way.
But
they might have got lucky with the new openings.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Riley, but I keep the receipts. Don't worry. I keep the receipts up here. But,
have you denied anyone yet?
No, I'm not gonna deny anyone, but I will say I'm overwhelmed by how many people, more than a handful. I will say more than a handful of people have asked me to reserve them a spot. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. Sorry, I'm not.
You can reserve yourself a spot.
You can't. It's not fair.
I'm not going to reserve spots.
No, I'm saying you can sign up and then your spot's reserved.
Yeah, right. I open more spots. Just sign up.
We said it from the beginning, man. Don't wait. Get signed up.
Yeah.
like do not wait.
But we're going to be able to high step in the end zone for like the 19th time this show's sold out. My fiance's head's going to fall off her body. This show started as 60 people. And then I allowed 65, and then I didn't close the entry, got to like 70, then opened it to 80, then 85, and now we're up to like 110, I think, or 115. So But it does make sense that when I talked to Dion, she's like, do you think you can, that's Frawley and I went down and I spoke to her about it, and we went down and just walked the venue one last time. I wanted Frawley to get eyes on it and be like, hey, tell me if you don't think it's big enough. I think we have a really good idea for the layout.
Yep.
where people can, if you go to a strongman competition where you kind of set up shop, like every strongman show you go, there's the areas where people put their tents and bags. I think we have a really good area for that doesn't affect the actual event floor. And then the event floor is plenty big for spectators and competitors alike. And then, we got the outdoor bar, the indoor bar. We got the grill set up where the booths will go for all the companies that are sponsoring it. So, man, I think it's going to be perfect.
After seeing it, I'm really excited about it. There's some spots I won't talk about that I won't give away, but like very premier event spots that could be very good showcasing, if you will.
Yeah.
So
it'll look good. It'll look good for
awesome.
It'll look very aesthetic for pictures, but for the spectators as well.
It'll be easy to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, after seeing it now, I'm like, this is great. It's going to be perfect.
I feel like that's always a big thing at strongman shows, just being able to see the actual event.
Right.
That's a good point. I've been to a lot of strongman shows where it's just been kind of like, and I get it, like not every show is trying to be like a huge show, right? Like it's a local show with like 50 competitors. So they have like an open CrossFit gym, and then they just, caution tape off the competitor's floor. And it's like, you got 100 spectators in there, and they're, shoulder to shoulder, and you can't even see your person you're there to watch compete really. So I'm pretty optimistic we're not going to run into that.
It's not going to happen
where we're at.
It's not.
So yeah, it was kind of cool too. They had like, they had an event recently. So they had like where the food will be still set up. So it was kind of nice, like to see where it'll be. The outdoor bar looked good. It's nice that it looks so big, even with all the tables still set up, because once you get those tables down too, like it's a lot bigger than you think. When I approached the venue, the guy that I'm dealing with for the venue, he told me you could fit 800 outside. Now that's 800 for a concert venue. Like that's like, if you're jam packed, we got to remember we're going to have people doing a yoke 50 feet and stuff like that. But yeah, but I'm just so excited. So if anyone has any questions, I did DM every single person back yesterday and today. But just a very overwhelming amount of questions. That's why I want to get Dion on here, and you guys can hear it straight from her, hopefully. So stay tuned for that next week, I hope. I could talk about Battle at the Bridge all day. I'm so excited. It's June 4th, 2022. I think we have a few sponsors already laid out. I think we've got a good idea of the layout for the show. It's just now, we're going to sell out. Like I was saying, we're going to be able to sell out one more time. And then just really fine tune all the stuff. And it'll be showtime before we know it. Great.
Yeah. I don't have anything else. After seeing the venue, I'm very confident it can hold the amount of people that we're looking at. The spot to set up camp will be plenty big. We can showcase some stuff. We can hang some banners in specific spots for pictures. It's like my very first reaction was, wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was, because I had never actually seen it. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy from when Riley and I were younger, and it's literally over doubled in size, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And cool. Yeah. Fro, you know what I thought about too when we were talking about the yoke?
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't know why. I forgot to mention this when we were down there, but it'll be the yoke, the lane for the actual competitors will be set up on horse stall mats. Like, so that'll help make sure it's like really flat too.
Yep.
And it's like an even surface. So that it'll be like a lane with horse stall mats too wide.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So that'll help as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's just really exciting stuff. I don't mean to sound like negative when I mean so many people have reached out, because I appreciate it. It was just overwhelming, but that's in a good way. Like, that means we're doing good stuff with the show, and I'm very excited. So yeah. So let's go. Any personal updates for you guys? Dante, you got PA Dutch. Not that about
Yeah,
what
I'm
eight
working
weeks out.
like 2 weeks, yeah, or not 2 weeks, 2 months. I'm
Yeah.
working with Nick Hine now, so
That's cool.
things are going pretty well with that so far. We're getting pretty along and figuring each other out. So hard part's
That's
coming
cool.
up. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for the updates.
Yeah. That's good. And so we have doing PA Dutch. We'll all be there, but we have you, Julia,
Frank and Jerry.
Frank and Jerry. So we got 4 people competing. We got a bunch of us going out. That'll be a fun show. I'll get to wear my state chair shirt for the first time ever. For that show. I'm required at any Strongman Corp shows that I'm attending. I have to wear my state chair shirt.
Does it look like a referee shirt or something?
Yeah, it kind of does. It's really funny. It's a nice shirt. I just got it in the mail.
See, I said that as like a joke, but then you say that.
No, it kind of is like it's the one, Paul Mauser always has it on anytime you've seen him. But when you
okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like a V-neck too.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking
about. But yeah, that'll be good. My training, we got the Clash qualifier gets released this Thursday. So we are less than a week. This week, the first event for the Clash qualifier comes out. So really excited for that. I'm
nervous.
I'm feeling a little under the weather right now. So I just wish I wouldn't have got this bug, this close to it, but I'm fine now. A little deload week beforehand. So probably didn't hurt me. Right. But I'm a little nervous. I'm excited to just get to try to qualify and see what the events are. We had Cody and Andrew on last week. I asked them their predictions of events. What are your guys' predictions for the 3 events? You guys have anything?
I'm feeling circus dumbbell.
I think I am too, honestly.
I don't know what kind of circus dumbbell, but I feel like that might be one of the events.
I think it's going to be an axle. I really do.
I heard a good case for that Furman has that whole thing with the belt clean and like how he hates that people don't allow the belt clean. So like he'll just out of spite just put in an axle and like allow the belt clean.
Do that.
So like, I don't know.
The one thing that I will say that I heard in the episode was that they talked about sandbag to shoulder. He did that for the middleweight qualifier. So I don't think you guys are going to see that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was one of the events.
I think if I had to take a guess, my guesses are I think it's going to be a circus for the overhead. Then I think it's going to be an axle deadlift. And then I think it's going to be a sandbag of some sort. Because if you think about strongman, I even think it may be an axle press just because an axle is even easier to have than a circus. I said it on the episode. I just think about stuff that is easy for everyone to have. You're not going to put in a Hercules hold because, that's obvious why. You're not going to put in, finger fingers because, same deal. But you're going to put in, either a barbell or an axle, probably a sandbag because sandbags are pretty normalized in almost every gym that if you're training strongman, you most likely have access to sandbags.
Yeah, and they're not crazy expensive.
Yeah. The only thing is though, like in the past, like say he would announce all 3 ahead of time, you would have time to order a sandbag from Cerberus. You don't even have time to order anything now.
Right.
So
that's Cerberus overnight,
Yeah. I love the way they're doing it though. You got to just be ready. Like you can't, I'm not going to mention shows, but I think knowing like the events for a show, like literally a year in advance, sometimes like, especially like a big show, it's like you can really just hone in on those events and you're not necessarily getting the best strong man or strong woman. You're getting the person that had, that just literally set everything else aside and practiced. Now, a lot of time the strongest person is still going to win, but I think it does. I don't know. Having the events that far ahead of time, I don't know. It doesn't.
You have to be well-rounded. You have to be
Yeah.
well-rounded because you don't know it's coming.
Right.
You've been freshening up on it on XYZ. Like, it's like, okay, I don't know what's coming my way. So like, I kind of got to dabble in every event in some way, shape, or form, because what if I have to do it? Right. Like, I got to do it on 3 days notice.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'll be doing mine on Saturdays. So like probably like the 20, I think it's like the 23rd or whatever that Saturday is, like the
22nd.
22nd, 29th, and 5th. I'll be doing them down to 580. So if you're any weight class, you're doing the Clash qualifiers, come down to 580 barbell on Saturdays and do them, because we'll probably have myself and maybe a couple other people doing it. So it helps to have a little bit of a team. We got that scale that goes up to 400 that's calibrated and everything like that. So it always helps having a little team. There's no day I would rather do it than Saturday, because you got the most hype crew and you got the most people down there to help and stuff. So
absolutely.
Right on.
I just think about it like, with all the videos and submissions, you got to think it's going to be something that's somewhat manageable to weigh for everyone, right? Because you don't, but who knows? Furman's a wild dude, so he could. I could honestly, I could see the first event being like a log axle circus press medley. You know what I mean? Like, I really could. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just gonna be mad if there's not a deadlift at all.
There will be. I don't see how.
I think there will be.
I will say, if there's not, I'm going to be pissed, because there's an actual chance, and I know he's listening right now. My cousin, Kurt Langtot, new father, by the way. Clap it up for Kurt. He's a dad now. Congratulations, Kazi. When he's hearing this right now, it's between 7 and 9 on Monday morning, because he listens while he trains on Monday morning. But my cousin has entered the Clash qualifiers. So if I'm just saying, if there's like a sandbag over shoulder, max reps in a minute, a squat, and an axle clean and press, Kurt will 100% beat me, and I will have to quit Strongman.
That would be tough.
Imagine if there was like a front squat for some reason, and he just waxes me.
He would.
No,
that'd be interesting.
Hand up, he will. Hand up.
Oh man.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy he's doing it. He listened last week. He listens every week, but he was like, hey, if you guys need more 80s, I might as well just throw my hat in and get you guys more participation. So I'm like,
sure.
Yeah, dude.
Doesn't hurt.
Cool. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll see. I feel like one event's just gonna be wild and just be very outlandish, but who knows? It sucks. Like it's the only downside of doing a qualifier like this is, like, if you guys heard last week, Cody said like he's on his family vacation, starting this week. He's gonna be somewhere like completely remote. He's like, if it's a barbell, I'm sure I'll be good, but like circus, law, and he's probably, it's like, what do you that stinks. That stinks. So I don't know.
I guess starting Strongman will be your best bet.
Yeah, honestly. But
cool. That's cool for the 80s Clash, right?
What is?
That's just all of that. Like, that's coming up for the 80s Clash. So that's
cool. Yeah, it's for every class qualifier.
Oh, all the weight classes are coming.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
They're all the same day.
I had it on my mind that it was just the 80 kilos. I didn't know
it's every class starts on January 20th.
I dig it.
Yeah. So from when we're recording this, it's exactly 1 week.
Right.
Be hype.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Let us know what you guys think is going to be an event.
Yep.
Man, we got a lot of great questions this week. It's very awesome to see.
Let's hear them.
Oh, also that Clash on the Cumberland happened. Well, when this releases, it happened yesterday.
Right.
But my new friend, CJ Kraus, he's a lightweight. I've been like DMing him. We've been DMing a lot, but he's going for the 80 kilo American record for deadlift. And he's going to definitely raise the bar. He's opening at 675. And he is one of those guys. He has a huge weight cut, huge for me. I don't, a lot of these guys do it. He was, I think, like only, I'm going to look right now. he weighs in tomorrow and he's only 4 pounds over now, so he'll be good. But I think he started his cut, like probably 15 pounds over at least. But yeah, I think he's opening like 675, then 700 second, and then 725 third. And that's in no suit either. So
what is the current American record?
I think it's only like 655, but it's obviously going to get pushed way up from this Clash series.
Absolutely.
Because I know if it was still 655 for the last one, I'll go to that.
Sure.
I'll go and I'll try to set the record.
Right. You know that the world record was broken recently.
Yeah, it was like, I think it's like it's mid sevens.
Yeah, somebody hit a 744 at lightweight at 80 kilos, which is insane.
I think he pulled it in a suit, right?
I believe you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking anything. I mean, he's definitely probably a 700 puller without a suit.
Hey,
so.
man, 744 at 80 kilos is insane.
The first question we got, I was dreading it because I know this will just spark some stupid shit.
I can't wait. Let's go.
Hear it.
No, it's not even.
Let's hear it. Just
Is
get
a
it over.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? I
Oh.
just got to get out of the way.
Yes.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. But I think it is.
Sandwich.
It's the meat between bread. I feel like it's a
Dante.
sandwich.
We just agreed on something. One of these big arguments. That's groundbreaking.
This is moving. I'm like 2 years into you, Josh. This is the first time we agreed on something.
Bonded. No, we bonded on the Oreos cookie thing too with Ryan.
That is true.
I think it's kind of a sandwich. It's between two buns, and it has the entree, the meat between them.
What else would it fall? What category would it fall under if it's not?
Fall under a hot dog category.
Yeah,
it's called a hot dog.
There's like a whole. I did my homework.
Does a burger have its own category?
Oh, because a burger's a sandwich.
Burger's a sandwich. The hot dog people, Riley, are. I'm not gonna.
Have you ever heard of an open face sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an open face sandwich.
Technically, a hot dog could be considered an open face sandwich. The face is open.
I did homework on this after I saw this come through because I'm like, this is gonna be like, this is gonna be like 4 hours on the episode. And I will say, I've made fun of a lot of groups on this podcast, anime people, reptile people.
You were an anime person for a week.
I was, and then football came back on. I'm on the record saying that. But I will say, I will not make fun of the hot dog people because I dove onto their websites and their blogs and stuff. They're crazy. They're actual crazy people.
They're like flat earthers.
Yes, like they're crazy. The hot dog truthers are like, I don't want to even mess with them. They scare me. They have websites, blogs, Reddits, all this stuff, like political campaigns.
And these are people saying it's not a sandwich?
Yes.
No, it's a hot dog.
Okay.
But there's people that like fire back at them like that it is a sandwich, and those people just like, I presume they just wind up dead because these hot dog people. So I won't.
They find those trolls' IP addresses.
There's like a USA Today website, like an article on it. A couple other articles I'm looking at right now.
There's like a website that's like a hot dog is not a sandwich.com, or it was scary. I don't know. I'm not doing it.
There's hotdog.org.
Probably.
I might just test it and see how far I can go with the hot dog is a sandwich.
Riley versus the hot dog people.
Biggest rivalry in America.
All right, I'm moving on. I wanted to get that one out.
That wasn't that heated. I was like, I don't really care.
I don't have. Yeah, I'm not a passionate. Like I smang glizzies in the summer if they're like if we're at Riley's house and we're playing cornhole, dude. I'll put down 13 glizzies.
Fact.
Honestly, you know what else too?
They're just so easy to eat.
Oh yeah, but let me say they are easy to eat when you're like leisurely eating them, like it's your own desire. People that chirp like, oh, I could eat like a hot dog eating contest. Not easy, dude. Not easy. We did one at school once, like as like a mock. I got buried. Like they're not easy. You set a 10-minute timer, you get buried. Like you
it's just hard to fit that much in your stomach that quickly.
Yeah, your
stomach's not used to eating like that.
Like Dante would be the guy that's like, yeah, I'll eat like 42 in 10 minutes. He'll eat 6 max.
I never did a hot dog eating contest, but I did do a taco eating contest.
Oh, I like tacos.
Hard or
Underrated.
soft shell?
Hard.
Soft for sure.
No, I'm asking what he did.
It was
Oh.
hard.
No. If you pick, I'm just gonna say, Dante, don't even answer because I don't even want to go down this. If you choose hard shell over soft, that's nuts.
True.
That is really nuts. It's
If I'm in the mood, I will do it, but 90% of the time it's soft over
Dude,
hard.
I like soft too, but listen, like the Dorito ones, you ever had the Dorito ones? The Dorito hard shells?
they're good.
Those are really good.
yeah, they're good. Like, no, listen, if I go to Taco Bell, like this is gonna segment so perfectly in our next segment because it's asking us about nutrition and strongman, and we're like on like a passionate rant about tacos. But like
Balance.
if I go to Taco Bell, I'll get 10 tacos and I'll get like 7 or 8 soft shells, but then I have to get 2 hard shells to mix it up. Like every 4th or 5th taco.
Why don't you just get a Crunchwrap Supreme then?
No, I
No.
just like tacos from Taco Bell. But I
I just
love
don't
like
hard shells are like they're so hard to eat, they just fall apart.
yeah, they're not, but it's not. It's a nice curveball, nice
Crunch
change.
is nice stuff. Like sometimes.
Yeah,
You're just
I'm
eating
not-
a big nacho.
we're on your side, Riley. We're on your side.
Just
We're on the same
stupid.
team here.
Yeah, we're on the same team, Riley.
I'm passionate about this. I'm not passionate about hot dogs being sandwiches. I'm passionate about this. Hard tacos suck.
Yeah,
I was really passionate.
They're fine. They're fine.
They suck.
I think you're wild if you pick. I think soft are just so much more convenient. But I also saw this thing going. Do you guys see the thing going around like a month or two ago? Like this whole like group trying to expose Taco Bell for their meat quality. I'm like,
Wasn't
bro,
that like 10 years ago? They got caught for that already?
I don't know. I just saw it like
They
circulating.
got sued like a while ago because it was
Bro.
like so much % meat filler.
Dude,
And not actual meat.
I go to Taco Bell and I get a dozen tacos and my order is like $10. Do you think I think it's like 10 ground
If
beef?
you,
I'm
if
not-
you, if you
like, I'm
think
not
that's
going
actual
to-
meat, you're psychotic.
Yeah, like you're a crazy person if you think it's like you think you're eating like 93.7 extra lean grass-fed cow. Like
I'm
no,
not
dude, you're eating like
Yeah.
slop.
I'm
You
not
like
going
the-
to Taco
the
Bell
chunk.
thinking I'm eating exquisite cuisine.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting Taco Bell, bro.
I know what I'm getting and I still want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Taco Bell.
And like I will say, like I have not had Taco Bell for like 2 years. But like I used to smang it all the time.
I could not remember last time I talked about it. It could be like 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Mine's been at least 2 years, so I don't want people to think I'm like Taco Bell every day. I'm not.
Taco Bell.
Like you were Wendy's every day.
I used to be. Anyway, big topic: nutrition and strongman. I honestly think nutrition is the hardest thing in all strength sports. I don't even think it's close.
I feel like you could just say in life for most people.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good point. Like, I think, see, nutrition is where I'm the least knowledgeable. I have a nutrition coach. I deflect my questions to others a lot of the time because nutrition is where I'm the least knowledgeable. I'm trying to learn a lot more about it. I ask my nutrition coach a lot of questions. I think the one thing is people don't realize that they're under eating. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a hard, especially people that are beginning. We've all heard the term hard gainer, right? I think when you actually have someone is a hard gainer, the first thing I always have them do is I say, okay, for 1 week, track everything you eat in MyFitnessPal. And you will be very surprised. You come back with weeks that are 1,600 calorie days, 1,700 calories. And you're like, and you ate, 70 grams of protein. It's like, as a strength athlete, that's not going to cut it. I think for strongmen, you can get away with eating and powerlifting. You can get away with eating dirtier, but I still think it's more beneficial to eat on the healthier side where you're eating whole foods just because you have moving events, all that stuff. And you just generally want to feel better. You want better gut health, all that stuff, right? And another thing with food is you're going to recover better if you eat better. Now, I follow a nutrition plan. I eat pretty much strict to it. I have a cheat meal at least once a week. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, especially when I'm far out from a show. Like nationals, I really dialed in. I was weeks and weeks without a cheat meal. But I think in general, just eat good whole foods, eat good carbs, rice and potatoes, stuff like that, and just have some greens, broccoli, spinach, stuff like that. I think you'll be good. But I think it helps to track your foods too.
I got
if you want to take that level.
three main things that I think applies to the general public. You probably eat too much fat and you don't realize it. You probably, as a strength athlete, are eating too much protein and don't realize it. And you probably aren't eating enough carbohydrates. People really underestimate the necessity, like the need for carbs as a strength athlete. So like when it comes to dietary fat, like fat goes into your body, and if it doesn't get burned up, it gets stored into fat right away. Whereas carbohydrates goes through the process of breaking down like glycogen, and it goes into your muscles first. And then after that, if there's still carbs left over, that gets stored as fat. So it probably takes your body 2, 3, 4 days to actually store extra carbohydrates, whereas excess fats can go to fat right away. So it really doesn't do you any good to eat a lot of fat. It's just kind of empty calories that you're consuming. So I would say like try to keep your fats low and bump your carbs up a little bit, because especially for the calorie use too. So if you have 2 grams of carbs, that's 8 calories, whereas 1 gram of fat is 9. So just you can eat more carbs than you can fats, and you get less calories, fewer calories. So that's great when you're conscious of your calorie consumption. That's what I'm trying to say.
I also think too with carbs, like one thing I've learned a lot about since I've been working with nutritionists is nutritional timing. So if like you look at the way mine's structured, like my 2 highest carb meals of the week are always before and after training. So I consume a lot of carbs before training, and then I consume even more carbs post training when I've got that big spike, and I'm able, to use those carbohydrates to their best ability, I guess. So that's one thing I've thought has been cool too in my limited knowledge of nutrition.
Yeah, there's so much to know about
There
it.
is so much. I think too is find foods that you digest and that work for you. Like just because everyone's like broccoli, 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 I know a lot of people that struggle with digesting broccoli. A lot of bloat, it doesn't sit well with their gut. So maybe find something, that's a different source that works better for you. Or, hey, I eat ground beef a lot, but ground turkey may work better for you, or having a steak or having just chicken, everyone's different. So I think just testing it, go into like MyFitnessPal, one of those apps like that, and just start recording your nutrition.
But I think another one, like final thing, the best guideline or plan you can have is one you'll follow. So like if you
100%.
don't like broccoli, you're not going to eat broccoli. If you don't like potatoes, don't eat potatoes. Like figure something out so that you can say, okay, I like this stuff and I can eat it consistently. That's like the science is compliance. What will you do for it to work?
Right. Yeah, good question. Favorite recovery methods?
I'm a big fan of Epsom salt baths. I feel pretty good after some of those.
I knew you'd say that. You've always preached Epsom salt. I've never done them. I'm just pretty old school. I mean, if you're gonna want to recover, I'm like, work out and then sleep. I mean, I've done deep tissue before. I really liked it. I kind of reserve that for a big show or something about a week or so out. Try to stay on top of as strength athletes. I mean, I know it's something I've always dealt with is just lower back pain, hip pain, stuff like that, just from training for a long time. So my biggest thing is I always just stay on a schedule with my chiropractor just to get my readjustments. That helps me a lot. I don't do ice baths or really any of that stuff. Just like we were talking about nutrition, make sure I'm eating enough and make sure I'm sleeping enough.
Yep. Sleep and food. I do a little bit of foam roller work, a little bit of like soft tissue stuff where like I'll use one of those knobs and like dig into soft spots and stuff like that. Since the new year, it's been a resolution of mine to get better at doing mobility more frequently. So I'm just trying to keep my joints mobile, prehabbing versus being reactive to a nagging pain, just kind of trying to stay ahead of it rather than let it build up and then do something about it.
Yeah, that just actually reminded me. One thing that's been helping me a lot that I've done since I've started with a new coach is I have a 5th day in my training, and it's like after my most intense session, I have like a small recovery workout, usually in and out within 30 to 40 minutes, a lot of movement, a lot of knee health stuff. And it seems like it's been helping me recover a lot more for like the upcoming week. So, and it's simple stuff. It's just getting yourself to get in that gym the extra day and do it.
It's just doing
Yeah,
it.
I've been doing a lot of like moderate, low intensity, like cardio kind of stuff for mobility work after some of my workout days, and it seems to be help promoting a lot of recovery as well.
Yeah.
Just keep yourself moving and mobile. So like on your days off, don't just sit in your chair after you're done with your 9 to 5 job or whatever and just do nothing. Just get up and go for a walk or
Yep.
do something.
Is there a Facebook group for Battle at the Bridge? Yes, there is. Should just be able to search Battle at the Bridge on Facebook. I'll try to get a little more active on there. One thing I like about Iron Podium is that I can just send an email to everyone, because I never thought it was really fair that like everyone in Strongman, it seems like it's always just been like either email the promoter or just reference Facebook. And if like, what happens if you're not on Facebook? Like you got like masters who aren't on it, Frawley's not on, some people just aren't on Facebook, which is fine. So you shouldn't, I don't think all of it should be reserved to putting your info on Facebook. So with the Iron Podium, I can send an email to all competitors, which I'm going to keep doing like monthly for the show for updates. So thoughts and feelings on the different forms of deadlift, conventional sumo, hex bar. I don't know. I like just a conventional deadlift the most.
And everything has its purpose.
That's
Yeah.
literally what I was going to say. Everything has its purpose. I mean,
I think people who do hex bar and try to justify that it's not easier than conventional are nuts, because I'm yet to meet a human that pulls more conventional than they do on a hex bar. I think it's more of a natural movement pattern. Having a side load, you're able to like sit into it a little bit more. You don't have a bar literally at your shins, that you have to move around, versus the trap bar, it moves around you. So that pattern is just going to be easier. Plus, they're typically a higher pick.
say the pick's higher too.
Yeah. I will say I do kind of like that sumo isn't allowed in strongman, because to me, a sumo is just it's almost a different movement than a conventional deadlift. I get like in powerlifting, that's cool. You get the choice of both. I like just having like the defined deadlift in strongman though. It's conventional. You can use straps, and I like it.
Sumo is just taking advantage of like perfect leverages. So like there's nothing wrong with anybody pulling sumo as long as it's within the rules. But if you look at powerlifting, it is literally the object is to lift as much weight as possible within the rules. So if you are advantageous to pull with the sumo pull and your leverages benefit that, you should do it. It makes sense. It makes sense. But I agree. I like that Strongman doesn't allow it personally.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that? I'm pretty much good.
I like trap for athletes.
Yeah.
Best. Yeah, me too. Me too a lot. That's a good point.
Speaking of, I just saw a video on Twitter of, I don't know if you guys know who Luke Voigt is, but he plays for the Yankees, and he was doing a trap bar deadlift. I think it was 4 plates. He did a couple reps, and someone sent in a group chat, and I just sent back the video of Ryan Cradle pulling 4 plates on a trap bar.
Yeah, he did like
a high schooler.
He did like a 455.
I mean, Luke Voigt's like a big dude. Like he's pretty stocky, but it was just funny. I just sent back the video of Ryan doing it.
And he was literally in 9th grade when he did it.
Ryan. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny.
Best sandbag brand in your opinion? I hate shouting out brands that aren't paying us, but Cerberus, I will say, is by far. It's not even. I've used 4 sandbag brands, and Cerberus from start to finish, in my opinion, is the absolute best. Being able to fill them, the longevity of them, the way it holds the sand, in the long term, I think all of it. I think Cerberus is the best. I like that you don't have to pack them 100%. Like if it's like their 265 bag, you have wiggle room in there. You could make it 280, or you could make it 250 if you really wanted.
Yeah, it's not a block. It's not a block. It's a sandbag.
Yeah.
But it should have some give to it.
So I like Cerberus a lot.
Yeah, everyone I've heard say is like, oh, I prefer when it's packed to the gills because it's so much easier to move. Like
Yeah.
that's the point of a sandbag.
That's the
Mhm.
point.
100%. Does a block pull still count as a deadlift? I mean, counts as a block. I mean,
That's a block pull deadlift.
yeah. I mean, like, if you go to a show and they're doing like, an 18-inch block, yeah, then I mean, yeah, they'll call it an 18-inch deadlift. I typically only say like I don't record my personal records for like, like my 13 and stuff. If someone asks me what my deadlift is, I tell them my deadlift from the floor.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Don't say that your max deadlift.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a deadlift. It's a deadlift movement for sure.
It kind of goes back to sumo, trap bar, conventional.
Yeah,
have their place, right? Like they're useful in training if you need to hone in on that position. So, but you're not going to talk about your record,
right?
Those movements,
so. Right. I can answer part of this question. The next one: favorite pre and post workout food and pre-workout supplement. Horsepower pre-workout. 580barbell.com. You can go buy yours now. If you're local, just shoot us a DM. And if
someone just gave you a softball or you asked
that yourself. Thank you for that softball.
Another shameless plug.
Yeah, I will plug that all day. Who does Riley want the Steelers to draft in the first round? Or yeah, I mean you don't have to say a person specifically, but you can at least say a position.
Got to build the trenches.
That's it.
That's where you win.
And cute.
They need a line, man. So
got to build the O line and the interior D line. You can't give up 200 rushing yards a game and expect to win.
Can I just say something? What would we do? Big Ben gets this like huge retirement tour. Makes the playoffs. We're gonna beat Kansas City here on Sunday when this is released. But what if he's just like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. Like he hasn't even said like, I mean, he's hinted at it like more than ever, like for sure. Like I would say like it's like 99.9, like he's done, right?
I mean, he invited all of his friends and family to that last game.
But like, what if he just comes back? He's like, I never said I was done.
He's just setting it up.
He's technically said it before. Like he's been hitting at it for a while and just keeps coming back. But I think this time it's for real.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the way you honestly cannot draft up the regular season ending cooler and better than it did. Like Cleveland at home, we've beat the absolute living shit out of Cleveland since 2000. Well, before 2004, but since Big Ben got under center in 2004. It honestly is amazing too. And I probably said on the show, how delusional and creepy are these Cleveland fans that they can even talk about Big Ben in any form or talk shit on the Steelers at all. How just delusional do you have
to be? It's a coping mechanism.
It's weird. It's weird. Like if I was a Cleveland Browns fan, I wouldn't talk. I literally like not just about football, like just in general. Like I just wouldn't talk because someone always has in their back pocket, like, aren't you a Browns fan? Like, yeah. All right, well then shut up.
This was supposed to be their year. They won the Super Bowl before the season started.
The last like 4 years it's supposed to have been their year, and their best was what? They won one playoff game. Good job. You've won one playoff game in 30 years. Good job. Big Ben, they showed that graphic. Big Ben 26-3 against the Bengals against the Browns in the regular season. How could you ever like Riley? Imagine if you're a Browns fan and you're sitting at home with your family watching that game, and that graphic pops up on your TV that you paid money for. What do you do?
You're put your head down, like Frawley's doing right now. You do that.
But these people actually have the nerve to talk.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. Sorry for your guys' loss. You guys stink. They should move that team. That's all I gotta say. Advice for someone who has never competed in a strongman competition before and is competitive by nature.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. I'm definitely a pretty competitive guy myself. And I think everyone is by nature. It's competitive, right? So you obviously don't want to lose, but I think no matter win or lose, how dorky it sounds, you're gonna leave learning a lot and taking a lot from that first competition. So if you truly think you fit in the novice category, do novice. If you think you're strong enough and competitive enough to do open your first show. That's kind of up to you. I get that question a lot. Should I do open or novice? 9 times out of 10, if you're asking, you should do novice, I think. I've said it on here before, but my first show came from powerlifting. I'm like, oh, I'll do open. Paul Mauser was like, dude, you should probably just do novice. And I was like, I'll do open. I did not end up listening to him do novice, and thank God I did. I would have came in dead last in every event and open and probably would have zeroed events instead of just doing novice and learning and then going into the open class. So
make sure you have fun.
Yeah, right.
That's why we do this stuff. Some people, I mean, the big guys, like the big names, they get paydays, but we don't. Make sure you're having fun. And if you're not having fun, really reconsider if you really want to do it.
Right. But yeah, those are all our questions. Great questions this week. I appreciate everyone that took the time to ask. That was a lot of great questions. But yeah, do you guys have anything else to add?
No, I think we touched a lot today and got some pretty good conversation going. So
yeah, great episode. As always, we plugged it already, but you can get your horsepower pre-workout now. Working on getting that second flavor of mixed berry in, but we still have watermelon left currently. Just go to 580barbell.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. We're currently, actually, the giveaway will be, Can I put the giveaway at the end of this episode, Dante?
we can.
Will we have time?
Do it.
Actually, no. We'll announce it. We'll announce it on our Instagram. We'll announce it on Instagram Live on Monday night. Because it ends Sunday. So
yeah,
I'll announce it. Let me just make sure the date.
Yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work a lot better, actually.
Yeah. So you're listening to this. You have a very small amount of time. Go to our Instagram, like the post, tag 2 friends in the comments. There's some bonus entries, stuff to do. We're giving away some free pre-workout. So go enter the giveaway now. You have probably like 4 hours left. So we're going to announce it tomorrow on the 17th. So thank you guys so much for all the support. We appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Later.
Peace out.
Love you guys.